as we evolve as humans and as our relationships evolve, so too do our wounds and our past also evolve.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, one of the greatest lessons from working with you has been learning to not be afraid to go there. Once I learned how to go there, and it's like, oh, I can go there, now I can go there quick. I can get it out of my system, and then I can actually move forward.
Yeah, I've noticed like there's no stewing in the thing anymore.
Yeah.
And in the past, I know you did and I did as well, that we would stew. Really coming to terms with your past,
Sure.
making peace with it, and then developing a new belief system based on your current version. All right, so we've been talking about alignment. Yeah. We talked about the importance of the inner alignment, the grounding elements, the North Star. Let's talk about the two arms of the star, one reaching into the past, one into the future. What kind of work did you have to do in the context of alignment with your past and with your stories and your belief systems? Was there any transformation involved?
I know. How long do we have?
I know, right? Highlights.
So, yeah, highlights. There's been a lot, and it continues. And this is one thing that I have now embraced. You know, I think there was a part of me before that it was like, well, if
I already did this work.
Right, it's healed. It's healed already. Let's just be done with it. And it's like, it's an onion, literally. You know, you heal a little outer, and then there's a little more, and then there's a little more. You go a little deeper.
Yeah.
You know, as we evolve as humans and as our relationships evolve, so too do our wounds and our past also evolve.
Yeah.
So, and it's also really, I mean, one of the greatest lessons from working with you has been learning to not be afraid to go there.
Yeah.
And I know that was a part of my kind of operating system for a while. If something came up that, you know, anger, like I grew up not wanting to feel anger and not wanting to recognize it because anger is bad, especially in our culture. It's bad to be angry. It's bad
Especially if you're a woman.
Especially if you're a woman. And so there was a lot of times where it was like, I'll just, you know, focus on something different.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to put energy into anger. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's, you know, we don't want to stay there.
Right.
But we need to go there.
Yes.
And it wasn't until I learned how to go there through the process that you actually helped me learn.
Yeah.
And once I learned how to go there, and it's like, oh, I can go there, now I can go there quick. I can get it out of my system, and then I can actually move forward.
Yeah, I've noticed like there's no stewing in the thing anymore.
Yeah.
And in the past, I know you did and I did as well, that we would stew.
For sure.
Right? And that's because we weren't actually allowing the feeling to be expressed fully fast. It's like, all right, let's go there and then let's come back. And by the way, if you're curious about this, I do have videos on what I'm calling in the videos. It's not a term I made up, spiritual and emotional alchemy. So I have different videos, but it's pretty much the same process. But it's the process of really coming to terms with your past, making peace with it, and then developing a new belief system based on your current version. Does that
I think that's a good thing. And also part of that, you end up pulling the gifts from it.
Yes.
You know, I'm glad. Now it's interesting because, I mean, you know, this happened a year ago, well, probably last month, but you know, where it's like I get triggered by something, you know, and it's like, and so whereas in the past it would be like, well, that person, you know, that person needs to change how, and now I realize, no, that's inside of me. There's an opportunity now for me. That's showing me something that still has a little energy that I get to heal, and then once I heal it, I can take the power from it.
Yes.
There's a lot of power even in anger. You know, that's energy. It's fuel.
That's
so
right.
How can I alchemize that energy in a way that now lets me use it as fuel to move forward instead of keeping me stuck back here.
Oh, yeah. So good. So good. That's a great way to describe it. And then the last piece of alignment is aligning towards the vision, towards the future, and a future that is created, not a future that is sort of like happenstance or default.
Yeah.
Right?
You know, that happens a lot, right? And, you know, I became a lawyer. I'm a lawyer by training. And
this was years ago. She didn't just become a lawyer.
No, not last week. 20 years ago or whatever.
30? I'm just kidding.
No dating. And with doing something like that, there's a role that you feel you need to play.
Yes.
You know, there's certain things lawyers do, or doctors, or engineers, or even business owners.
Right.
When I started my business, there were often times when I would show up in a certain way because I thought that's what a business owner would do.
Right.
And what I realized is no, it's tapping in, getting in that alignment of who I really am, and then also looking forward to, who do I want to create? How do I want to be?
Yeah.
And in thinking of that person and letting myself get kind of pulled forward by that person who acts in a certain way or does a certain thing and makes certain decisions.
Makes a certain amount of money.
Makes a certain amount of money.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when you took on what would $1 million business owner do?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Or even what does.
What does? Present tense.
Yeah. So what does? And one of the quick answers was not her own QuickBooks.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, that's a different person. What does a healthy person do? What does a healthy person eat? What does a person who cares about their body? How do they, what relationships are they in?
Yes.
You can filter that out to so many different things.
So essentially creating that vision of what you want and then pulling it into the present.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leanne. That was super interesting.
My pleasure.
And for those of you watching, if you want to go deeper into this topic about alignment, I have a whole bunch of videos that we've pulled together for you. So you can just click on that playlist below. Enjoy. What have you learned about personal branding, thought leadership along the way? How do you approach that?
First of all, that it's always evolving. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's really important, to know that right now, what I'm about and what I'm working on is an evolution of what I've done in the past, and it's going to be different from what I do next year probably, or maybe even in 6 months or in 6 years or whatever. So it's an evolution just as I'm an evolution, just as you're an evolution.